Hi, everybody. I'm Joe Appello. Welcome to All Sports Talk with Joe and George. To my left is George Connor. My compañero, is that what they call you?
Consigliere?
Yeah. Right-hand man, left-hand man, whatever, wingman.
Wingman, I like
so,
that.
yeah, there you go. We're going to lead off with Urban Meyer again. Today's Wednesday, August 22nd, right? August 22nd, yep. And they're supposed to get a ruling on him as far as what to do in a situation with the allegations with Zach Smith, his assistant coach. Last I heard, the board of directors were meeting today and decided what to do with him. My guess is that he gets suspended, and I think the AD gets fired because he allegedly passed on the information about Zach Smith's alleged domestic abuse to the AD, and nothing happened.
Yeah.
And I guess he felt that his job was done at that point.
Yeah.
And now it goes to the question is whether he did do that and whether he was told to handle it or what happened after that. That's what they're, I guess, investigating.
Yeah.
I think it's been going on for 2 weeks. I think he'll get suspended, like I said. And I think.
So you think it's suspended, not out?
No, I don't think so. Because if he allegedly told his AD, he's kind of not off the hook, but he's kind of covered himself a little bit. The problem is that you have all kinds of obviously ramifications of that, especially if he does stay on. You've got the outcry with you could have thousands of women protesting at Ohio State games and press conferences and whatnot, which could happen.
Yeah.
But I also think that they're so slick that if they do suspend him, they'll give him 2 weeks served, which he's already done 2 weeks. So if they say suspend him for a month, he only has 2 more weeks left. And maybe they suspend him for the first couple of cupcake games that they have. You know, I don't know.
Yeah, the out of conference type things.
Right. So that's might be what they're doing. So that remains to be seen what happens, the final outcome with that, but that's due today sometime. I think if they were going to fire him, they would have done it already. You know, they would have just just be done with it. But I think they're trying to go over what's the best tactic, what's the best route to take as far as you know what to do with that legality and deal with that. He wasn't allowed to be on campus or with his team or talk to anybody in the last 2 weeks. So I don't know what else has been going on there. But we'll see what happens there. What do you think about all that?
You know, I think it's the only safe decision that the university can make is to get rid of Meyer.
I would think so.
And me, you know, my opinion, my thought, you know, like with this whole Me Too movement and everything else like that, this thing's it's exploding. Right. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but I don't know if Nick Saban could get past this. Right. Now they're gonna make the AD the fall guy.
Scapegoat, yeah.
Scapegoat, fall guy, whatever it's gonna be. Yep. I think it's dangerous, and like you said in the last show, you know, the protests and things like that. Yep. Does it hurt recruiting down the road? Yeah,
you go into a recruit's house and you tell mom and dad, I'm going to take care of him like he's my son, and then the mother says, "Oh, really? Yeah, yeah." You had a coach that allegedly hit his beat his wife
or something like that.
Yeah, and how are you going to handle that? And then what's he going to say? Then he's going to deal with that. So I don't know. I mean, it's a tough call.
You know, if he did pass it on to the AD. Okay, maybe he did fulfill his obligation, but that took a long time to come out. Right. Yeah, that if that was the case, you would have thought, okay, right when it hits, boom, hey, I passed it on to my AD, I did my thing, but that didn't come out right away. Right. So that to me seems like a bunch of smart guys get in a room and say, okay, what's the best way to spin this? Right. So
how's it look for our university? Yeah, it's tough.
It kind of stinks.
I mean, in theory, if you wanted to go the other way when that first happened, boom, get rid of him. He would have been a hero. Yeah. Oh, you're grateful to me too, and then you're did the right thing and appreciate that, and all the women, and then you go to mother's house and say, I appreciate what you did with that assistant coach.
This is how we handle things.
Yeah, you know, this is how we do it at Ohio State, and especially with all this Larry Nassar stuff and all the other stuff that's been going on in college athletics. I mean, it's just a what storm, and. I don't know what the answer is. I don't know if there's a right answer or a wrong answer. I mean, everybody loses. You know, it's just an unpleasant thing that happens all the time. I mean, and then the other side of the coin is these big-time college coaches become like a CEO of a big company, and they've got to oversee everything, and they put their trust in their assistant coaches and the tutors and the mentors and all these people that watch over. I mean, they've got like some of these college programs have 90, 95 guys that are on their squads.
That are somehow on the roster.
Yeah, you know, and they got to manage all that. And guys are redshirted, all this kind of stuff. So it's a major it's a major project, and I believe most coaches know what's going on, especially the better players. They know
the key players,
the big guys. Yeah. So I mean, guys, just kind of see how that plays out. You also notice, I don't know if you noticed, the last 2 weeks, we really haven't talked about it at all. It hasn't been kind of under the radar.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, almost like let it die down a little bit, and then we'll tone it back up again.
Which is, I mean, that's good PR. Yep. But again, I mean, this is an issue that, you try to do PR and get cute with it, getting around it. Yep. I mean, it could blow up.
Yep. They had the other thing with that kid from Penn State that died with the hazing. He was a football player, a high school football player. He wasn't a college football player. Yeah. And they went through that. Poor parents had to go through all that, and that was another case that was amazing that they went through.
Yeah.
The Yankees had a reunion of their 1998 team over the weekend. That was fun to watch. That was the Yankees. They were 100 Series
number.
Yeah, they
22,
were
22, 23.
No, it's more than that because they've had 28 so far, and they've had a couple since then. Yeah.
Okay.
Might have been 25.
25.
Yeah, something like that. But they had all the players were invited back for a weekend reunion.
Okay.
I think the Yankees do it better than anybody as far as honoring their past stars and having old-timers day.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know if anybody else even has an old-timers game. I mean, I obviously could be wrong, but I mean, to bring all these, Whitey Ford back and all these guys, it's just a really neat thing. And that 98 team, I don't know, in my opinion, I don't know if they'll ever be a better team again. Relevant to the rest of the league and what they went through. I mean, they won 114 regular season games, and they were 11-2 in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. So they won 125 games all year, which is an obscene number. And
seems like the Red Sox are going to do that in the regular season.
Lost three in a row, though, so we'll see. We got to hold up on that one. Yeah. They played Cleveland, and Cleveland handled them pretty good. Yeah. But back to the Yankees, they had it was interesting. Scott Brosius didn't make it back. He was the MVP that year in the World Series. I think he's coaching third base for the Mariners. He was cross country. He couldn't get back for some reason. Yep. And Derek Jeter couldn't get back. He put a message on the message board. Did you see that at all?
No.
He said, "Thank you, Yankee fans, you're the best one." And I guess it was his 1-year-old's first birthday. Okay. He said, "You have a 1-year-old, you can't miss a first birthday party." So that's where he was at.
Yeah, I could have had a cake for him at a Monument Field there.
Yeah. So he didn't make it back, but most of the other guys did. Yeah. They all looked pretty good. Nobody looked too heavy, too beat up. David Wells looked like he was.
David Wells is still alive, huh?
He's still around, yeah. And it's kind of interesting. They did something different. Since I don't know how many times teams are honored like that, but they had the guys driving down a golf cart from the outfield, and they kind of grouped them in like starting pitchers, relief pitchers, outfilders.
So not by era, but by position.
It was the one. It was 98, but it was by position, and they would go as they were driving in from the bullpen area. They would talk about the guys that were on the cart, and then they would wave. They would say, "This guy was won 20 games this year." They used on the staff, David Cohn, and he'd wave, and then David. This guy pitched a perfect game, made 21st. David Wells, and he would wave, and they were on the same cart. Got it. So they did that. So that took about a half hour. So Darryl Strawberry was there. Chuck Knobloch was there.
They didn't ask Chuck Knobloch to make a throw.
He didn't throw anything. He didn't throw out the first ball. Would have been the bleachers. Bernie Williams was there.
Was Susan Waltman, was she there?
I'm sure she was there, but she was.
If Bernie Williams was there, Susan Waltman was there. Yeah,
John Sterling and Michael Kay did the intros on the field, and they came in, and I'm sure Susan was up in the booth somewhere. But Jorge Posada was there. The infield was Tito was there. Tito Martinez was at first. Knobloch played second. Jeter played short. Brosius played third. Tim Rage was there. He was in left most of the time. Darryl Strawberry. So Strawberry got cancer that year. He had colon cancer in September. He didn't play. Really? He didn't play in the playoffs that year. Yeah. Huh. Yeah. He had 24 home runs that year. There's a DH and sometime outfielder. Okay. And they had. That was the year Shane Spencer had a great summer.
Name
fall.
I haven't heard in a while.
He was rocking. He was there. Bernie in center and I guess Spencer played a lot of right field at that point and on the run. Oh no. Paul O'Neill played right. The Warrior. Paul O'Neill played right field for them, and then Spencer kind of played left and him Raines, and so they just had an amazing squad. Joe Torre was the manager. I thought Joe Torre was one of the best managers I've ever. Up to that point, he had really never won anything, but he got the Yankees, and he was like the calming influence, the mentor, the father figure that they all needed.
Yep.
And Dieter to this day still calls him Mr. Torre.
Really?
To this day, Mr. Torre, yeah. And it's funny, they started out 1-4, even with that record, and there was rumors that he was going to get fired, and Steinbrenner was still on the team, and they had a clubhouse meeting there, and they ended up winning like 16 out of 18 names, and they were on their way after that. And they said the mentality of that team, which is kind of drinks, that they never thought they were going to lose. They thought they were going to win every game, and they wanted to bury you. And they wanted to start out burying you in the first inning, right from the get-go. Just get ahead.
You had a crooked number in the first inning.
Not even gave you a chance.
There you go.
And that's how they handled that year. And they said it was just a mixture of the right veterans, the clutch players. They had Paul O'Neill, the guy's an intense competitor. And they had Jeter, and they had Tito and Posada. And their pitching staff, they had Cone. Because Cone was the ace. They had David Wells. They had El Duque, Orlando Hernandez, guy from Cuba. They were the three, and then they had Mariano still in the bullpen, who was unhittable.
So Mariano was already the closer at that time?
Yeah, he had
because he was a setup guy for
the year before to John Wetland.
Yeah,
Wetland. Yeah, and then he became the man on the '98 team.
Got it.
And he was lights out. I think he saved almost every game that he was in. Knobloch played second, and. Let me see who else was their pitching. They had Mike Stanton in the bullpen. They have Jeff Nelson was in the bullpen. So they were just top to bottom. And they didn't really have any major injuries.
Yeah.
Which is another thing that for a team to do well or the team to set a record like that, you got to have everyone healthy or your major players healthy. And the only guy they lost again was Strawberry toward the end.
Yeah.
But yeah, they were. That was a great. I loved that. That was my favorite year with the Yankees. Just the way they played. And the demeanor and the mindset, and with Joe Torre, and that was so much fun to watch in '98.
Yeah.
They destroyed everybody in the playoffs and lost 2 games. They swept the Padres, I think it was, for the World Series. So that was fun. That was fun to see all those guys. They said they always had a lot of fun, and they played the game the right way, and so that was neat. But that was over the weekend. They honored those guys.
Nice.
So.
Nice. So what's going on now? The Yanks are still pretty much out of. They're not going to win the East, right?
Red Sox lost 3 in a row, and the Yankees won 2 of the last 3. Cut a little bit. They're like down by 7 games, I think, at this point.
Yeah, which is getting to be.
It's still tough, yeah.
But they're good and bad. I mean, they're getting themselves a little cushion as far as the wild card game goes, but.
Little heat in the wild card, up 3 games.
Scary thing is that's just the 1 game.
Yeah, the Mariners. Houston's feeling the heat from the A's. The A's are taking care of the Houston Astros.
Yep.
Astros have been back to earth. They've had some injuries. They had Correa and Altuve out for a while. So I mean that's something that obviously all teams have to go through. And I think the Red Sox are lucky because they really haven't had too many bad ones.
Yeah.
They lost to 2 games to Cleveland and 1 game to I think it was the Orioles, the last game they played. But yeah, so they're kind of back to earth a little bit. But see what happens there. Yankees beat the Marlins last night, Tuesday night, 2-1 in 12 innings. Marlins had first and third with no outs in the 9th. They couldn't score. And they had base load. I think the 11th didn't score, and base load in the 12th they didn't score. Or maybe the 10th and 11th, whatever. But anyway, they had game-winning situations all over the place. And Chad Green came out, struck out 2 guys, got a pop-up. And they got out of it. They used all the relievers. Dave Robinson had a little shoulder issue. He didn't pitch. And they brought in Chapman to close out the 9th. The Yankees got a run in the top of the 12th, I think it was. Andor had a sac fly. They brought in Chapman to close out the bottom of the 12th.
Yep.
And he walks the first guy, I think. And the second guy, he threw a pitch, and he goes like this, calls to the trainer, and came out. They took him out.
Okay.
So they brought in Tommy Cannelly. They brought him in. He had all the time in the world to warm up because he wasn't in the bullpen getting ready, and he got out of it. He got the 3 outs, and they won 2-1.
They give him extra pitches
all the time.
All
the time you want.
Yeah.
I don't need that much time.
Yeah.
So Chapman said he tweaked his knee a little bit, got a little knee issue. These athletes nowadays are so big and strong, and really muscle bound. You know, they don't stretch out. They don't do the right thing. I mean, they're so easy to tweak something or get hurt.
Yeah.
So they struggled, but they won. I was for sure. I thought Stan would come up and hit a bomb to win it for them. They got up a couple times late innings. I thought he'd come up and it'd be the home time. They gave him a nice ovation there. It was funny. There was 28,000 people at the game. The average attendance for those Marlin games was like 8,000 or 9,000.
Wow.
Imagine that, 8,000 or 9,000. Yeah.
Guess there's too much going on down there.
They just don't. Yeah, they just don't. And plus, they're obviously losing. They're like, they have top 3 worst records in the majors, so they're not winning. And and they're just, it's tough, boy. It's tough selling. Like you said, there's so much going on down there. But you start winning.
50
I think
and
people
77 is the record.
Are they really? Yeah. The Yankees almost reversed that, aren't they? Yeah. The Yankees are about 30 games above 500.
Yeah.
But so they got a couple good young players out there. That guy came in last night for relief for the Marlins. Guy was throwing 102.
102.
Skinny guy. He's like 6'8". That was his name. I forget his name was. He was like 6'8", about 170 pounds, and just throwing freaking the heat. And I think he struck out the side. I think the 11th or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a young guy. Yeah. He was throwing BBs. So.
Throwing BBs, the opposite of throwing BBs, and you mentioned El Duque.
El Duque.
I remember, so El Duque, towards the end of his career, he pitched a couple decent seasons for the Mets. 2008, 9, somewhere around there. And I'll never forget, I was at the game, sitting pretty far up the first base line. So as I'm looking at the diamond, the pitch is going across this way.
Okay.
And at the stadium, they always have on the scoreboard, they'll put up 102 mile an hour fastball, 87 mile an hour slider, whatever else it is. And I don't know, the poor guy, when El Duque's pitching, I don't know what he calls it, but it was 62 mile an hour changeup. This thing, it would look like slow pitch softball.
Yeah.
But the amazing thing was, it shows, to me, the difference between a thrower and a pitcher. Is he'd throw this thing that had an arc to it and everything else, and the next one looks like a pea coming in.
Yeah.
But it's 75 miles an hour.
Right.
But it's just the offset of the speed. And, I'll never forget, I was with my daughter at the time. She was, 7, 8 years old. And it was a great game. It was 1-0 or something in the 7th inning. And, he got outs.
Yeah.
They put the ball in play, but they never hit the ball hard.
Different arm angles and stuff.
Oh,
He would tuck it in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, fun to watch.
He was unflattable too. He was he never get rattled. He's pretty cool out there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, you come over in a boat and survive. I mean, it's nothing's worse than that.
Yep.
But that was amazing. It's funny. I watched the Phillies were playing. Maybe when we played the Mets actually, and Scott Kingery played a pitch. You see at the shortstop.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was throwing the ball like a softball.
Yeah.
He was just lobbing it in there. The guys are hitting. It was funny as heck.
Yeah, the Mets. Speaking of the Mets, they're scoring touchdowns now.
Segue right into the Mets.
16 runs, 25 runs. So they kind of got back from that Nationals.
Jeff McNeil raking.
25.
That was 4 for 4 last night. 26 years old, all excited.
We're not going to talk about the shortstop and the outfielder colliding to end the game.
That was amazing. That was amazing.
Only the Mets can pull that one off. You know what was neat, and I didn't know that this happened. They have a Little League World Series game.
Yep.
And the Mets and the Phillies played down in Williamstown.
I actually watched that. I obviously have no life. I watched the whole freaking thing.
I didn't see the whole thing.
Yeah.
But I don't. Is that something that I was unaware of?
It's kind of new. I'm not sure if it's the first year. It might be the first year they've done that.
Because then they announced, I was watching the game, and they announced that next year, whoever's going to play or whatever else is going to be. Yeah.
First thing about that is the stadium that they played in is a major league park. It's a minor league park, I think.
Yeah.
But the major league dimensions, obviously, the infield. But you know how much it seats? 2,500 people.
2,500 people.
That's all it seats, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was kind of neat. And
from what I can tell, they're not selling any tickets. It's all just the kids and their families.
Yeah. I don't know how
Based
that
on
works.
the crowd.
Yeah, probably all. Yeah, I think you're right.
The vast majority of it, anyway.
Right, it was all the kids, and during the first couple games that they had that day, the Mets and the Phillies came with their uniforms on, their jerseys, and they walked around the crowd and sat with the kids and signed autographs.
Yeah.
It was pretty neat, and. You see Thorson there. They said that Thor's like just he walks in the room. He's the guy just like a monster, 6'6". You know, he's just
he's a huge guy. Yeah.
Huge.
Yeah.
And you don't realize how big he is until you actually see him up close.
In person. Yeah.
But Panama had this kid pitching. I think it was Panama. That this kid on the mound, he looked like a man.
Yeah.
He had to be 5'10", 5'11", probably 170, 80 pounds. You know what he was throwing on the mound? He was throwing 78 miles an hour, Little League distance.
40 feet away.
Which equates, 60 feet away, which equates to, 40 feet away, which equates to 103 at the major level. 103 at the Little League level. These kids are up there going. And one guy hit one out, they lost. I think they lost 3-2.
Oh, really?
They lost the kid. Yeah,
I tell you, it's amazing to watch because you get some big kids, and on that little field.
Yeah.
He's this third baseman, like you say, he's 5'10" or whatever else, and he's only.
Yep.
What is that's they're 60 feet base pass, you know.
Right.
So he's whatever if he's playing in, he's 50 feet away.
Right.
And
well, they changed the rules, so I think you can't be 13 before it starts the tournament.
Okay.
But you can turn 13, I think, after it starts. I could be wrong on that though.
Okay.
But there was a couple of the bigger kids were 13 now because they asked how old they were.
Okay.
But it used to be like 12. But I think, remember the one year New York team, a couple of kids were driving to the game? Who's pitching? Oh, he's driving it. He's got mom's car.
Yeah. He cut himself shaving before the game.
That was that New York City team that won it. They got that one kid was like 15 that was pitching for them. I forget the kid's name. He was pretty good, obviously. But that was the Staten Island team, I guess, has a chance to make the. I think they play tonight, actually.
Yeah.
Wednesday night, they have a chance to make the United States side of the bracket. They have the foreign country,
Yep.
So they have a chance. I think they might be playing Michigan or one of those teams, Texas, one of those teams. So, and it's double elimination. So if they lose, they still get another shot. But I think they're undefeated so far. They have a kid on their Staten Island team named Greg Bruno, a big lefty.
Yeah.
Really good. Same thing. You're throwing heat. He looks real good. They had another kid.
Can the Mets bring him up when they expand the rosters in a few days?
They probably don't want to play him yet. Do you see the kid Big Al who was singing and dancing?
No.
I don't know what team. I just kind of saw quick. His name Big Al. He was like, I'm Big Al. He was. It was pretty funny. But the Little League World Series is kind of neat. But,
it's fun.
It's funny. You got some kids that are like. They had one kid. I don't know. It was in Panama again. The kid was like 4'10", 75 pounds, and the other kid was, 5'10", 170 pounds. It was amazing how the contrast of those little league guys.
Yeah.
But so that was pretty neat. And the Mets and the Phillies interacted with all the kids. They signed autographs.
Yeah, it was neat. It was fun to see.
And then they came back and they played the game at night.
Yep.
All the kids were able to watch, and they slide down that mud hill. You ever see it?
Yeah.
They go down there. Kevin and Gotti slid down there last night with a suit on. It was pretty funny head first. Yeah, they had a good time with that. So that's going on.
Yeah.
I was watching, and then the game that night, Phillies and the Mets. A-Rod was on it. A-Rod's annoying. His color. He'll be like, so and so is the greatest of all time, and ultimate. It's like everyone's the greatest of all time to get a base hit. And he goes, and it's just too much. And they keep on talking and talking. And Memphis Gurgen is very good, and Jessica Mendoza does a nice job. But A-Rod's he's just almost like he's trying too hard. He doesn't want to hurt anybody's feelings. And, and that's a tough spot. And it's funny because I actually talked to ESPN guy that came in somewhere, and he said that, he goes, they've been talking to A-Rod, but just tone it down a little bit and not be so over the top with everything.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a good guy. He means well, but I mean, it's just some of the stuff he was saying. It's just
he's not a professional at that.
No.
So he's got to kind of find his way and ease into it. And he might be getting some coaching too. You got to be over the top. I remember before I started doing some stuff at the Golf Channel, there was a guy, and he's like, look, if you say your energy level, you want to keep your energy up when you're doing golf tips or doing anything, and he says on a scale from 1 to 10, you want to get close to 10, and if you think you're at 8, you're at 4, so you want to go over the top, and I think that's not necessarily true for everybody,
right?
And I think maybe he is, whether he's getting coaching that way, that he's got to be really exciting and demonstrative and almost bombastic.
Right.
I don't know that that's necessarily,
Right.
Who he is.
I think if you don't know the game as well, and you hear all these superlatives that he gives to people, it might be more.
True.
Maybe more informational to you, informational to you than.
If you start saying Brandon Nimmo's the greatest of all time,
all-star.
Then we know he's
all-star. 13 home runs. Yeah. And they were actually thinking he was going to make the All-Star team. When Dominic Smith, Rosario's. That was a 12th inning of a 1-1 game in San Francisco against San Francisco.
Yeah.
And it's a pops are short. Rosario's going. He's got the ball. Smith runs over and knocks, and it's like, are you kidding me? This is like little league stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And the point I'm going to make there is that he shouldn't be in left field.
Right.
He's a first baseman.
Yeah.
The guy's not going to. So you didn't play him at first, or don't play him. You play him in outfield where and the Mets do that all the time. They're stupid. They put you in a position to fail. It seemed like to me all the time.
Yep.
And that's on Callaway to me. I don't understand what
They had a battle. I don't know if you remember back when Omar Minaya, got to reference him. When Omar Minaya was kind of starting to build that team, right? He brought in Pedro Martinez. He brought in a number of good players, and he had Mike Cameron, who was a center fielder, in right field because they got Beltran to play in center. So you got Cameron's a true center fielder. Now he's in right. And they had a horrible collision. Cameron was really banged up. He had orbital bone breaks and all kinds of stuff. Never really kind of recovered from that. I think he ended up finishing his career with the Padres, but it was horrible to watch.
Well, that was a tough thing. I mean, in theory, and the outfield should have priority over the shortstop because he's coming in.
Right.
But then again, Rosario's calling it, and he's got to beat on it, just back off. But then, Smith's thinking, I got it. And then he looked up, and then he tried to jump out of the way, and then hit him, and it was too late. But I mean,
he timed it perfect, though.
Yeah, he did.
If he was playing secondary for the Jets, I mean, that's pretty. It wasn't pass interference. He waited until the ball was there.
Okay, the Jets. Now the Jets are shopping around Teddy Bridgewater.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. I mean, he's Bridgewater's 25, wants to play.
Yep.
I think they're going to hand the reins right over to Darnell from day one.
Yeah.
They're finally going to do what I think is a smart thing, and not play around. Let them.
Yep.
Tony Dungy was on, and they were asking him about it. Tony Dungy says they just got to play. You've got to get them in there. They're going to make mistakes.
Sure.
But there's no other way to do it.
Yeah.
And he said that when Peyton Manning, they drafted Peyton Manning. He said Peyton Manning's first year they were 3-13.
Yeah.
He said he made a lot of mistakes.
Sure.
But next year he got better and better, and he became one of best quarterbacks.
And Darnold, they're already saying, I mean, from say practice to practice is he's learning.
Yeah.
And I think, and I talk to my golfers about this a lot. Like, when you're learning, you're going to make mistakes.
Yep.
And cool. Football might be a little bit different, but the cool thing in golf is you don't get hurt.
Yeah.
Golf, hey, you hit a bad shot, hey, that's learning. That's learning. You're going to make mistakes.
Right.
If you're learning to skateboard and you make a mistake, it hurts.
Right.
Or, maybe sometimes in football you might throw an interception or something like that.
And your career with a bad mistake, yep.
Well, yeah. But yeah, I mean, Darnold gets better and better, and he's completed 74% of his passes in the preseason games. Now it's preseason, so he's not necessarily playing against.
It's better than the alternative being, 10 for 30. So
they've got McCown, Darnold, and Bridgewater. It looks like Bridgewater might get him something.
I think they're waiting to see what they can get from that. I mean, you got another 2 more weeks when, teams are just like, when Nick Foles went down with his shoulder.
Sure.
He seems to be okay, but I mean, there's a perfect example. Wentz is not quite ready.
Yep.
He could be ready, probably could play the pitch, but God, they rush him back and he gets hurt again, and they're really set back.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's a perfect example where they're going to wait as long as they can. There's no need to hurry, but obviously Bridgewater want to go to a team where you can fit into the offense and learn it. But I mean, in a perfect world, but it just doesn't work that way. What happens if McCown gets hurt? Or Darnell gets hurt in the next 2 weeks. Yeah. You don't want to screw yourself either. So I think they're doing smart by waiting.
Yeah.
It was funny, they had an interview with Bowles on one of those serious radio stations the other day. And one of the guys says, you have no personality. He didn't say it, like he said, the book I knew is that, you're not dynamic, not personality. And he started imitating the other coaches. It was funny. Herman Edwards, Denny Green, Jim Mora, and he's doing
playoffs.
Playoffs, dude. Yeah, playoffs. And then he did the Dennis Green. We are what we say you are. And then he did the Herman Edwards. You play to win the game, and it actually was pretty funny. And the guys are saying, "Oh, there you go, a little personality coach." So that was a bit because Bull's like, what do you want me to be like? He goes, this is who I am, and you want to be Denny Green, you want to be, and he went through the whole thing. So it was actually pretty good. I'm glad to see him, defend himself a little bit. I mean, I don't know the guy,
be yourself.
So that was pretty good. So Jets Giants this weekend actually. They play game 3, which is a big game. And
this is the one to watch.
The dress rehearsal game, they call it. So I think they're treading lightly with Barkley, though. I don't know if they'll even play. Maybe
he's
a little bit
nicked up.
Still a little nicked up, but I guess Odell will play a couple series. I'm sure Eli will play half a game. So we'll see what happens there. There's no need to really risk anything. I mean, it's a process. It's going to take a while.
But I mean, the Giants rather. There's no fear of a repeat of last year.
Right.
It's just
right. I mean, you've got enough weapons there. They should be fine. As far as Beckham and how much time you need to get in sync and what's it going to matter? First couple games. I mean, it's a process. Like I said, you've got your basis, and you hope that everyone get on the same page. I mean, Barkley's going to be a weapon. I think he's going to kind of dictate what they do offensively. Because you can't stop the guy. So I think it's going to be fun to watch.
It's coming up pretty soon.
It is. 2 weeks, I think.
Sunday afternoons.
It was September 6th, I think, is the first game. So Thursday.
That's
Thursday, Labor Day week. That's the first. That's the kickoff of that week.
Sunday afternoons. Little Pepe's Pizza. Little white birch beer.
You got all the
sitting on the couch.
They say that college football the polls came out. They got Alabama #1.
Okay.
Clemson 2. Georgia's 3, I think, and Ohio State's 4. In some resemblance of order.
Okay.
Those top 4. I think Alabama's consensus #1. They say Tua is tearing it up. They say he is like lights out back there. We'll see. I was looking at their schedule. My God, Alabama's schedule is like they played like nobody first 6 weeks. They don't really have a tough game for a long time. I mean, you can see both sides of that.
But wasn't Saban one of the guys calling for this balanced schedule type of thing? But but his schedule it's
tough. I mean, then you look at other teams like, the SEC has the 2 sides, and so if you're the one side, it seems to be a lot tougher than the other side with Georgia and Auburn, that side, and then you got the Alabama side. But teams like in the Pac-10, you got Oregon, a couple of UCLA, USC. Oregon State. Those are tough games. All those games are tough.
Washington.
Washington State. Those are 8 tough games as opposed to 1 or 2 tough games that Alabama has.
But before, like you say, because of divisions before they get to the game. Because they get to play Kentucky. They get to play, the lesser teams.
I think Alabama was up at Texas A&M maybe. I'm not still sure. Or Louisville, one of the 2. Anyway. But they say that the Tua looks unbelievable. They have another kid, I guess, that's a freshman, 5-star recruit that's supposed to be amazing too. Besides Jalen Hurts. They're loaded at quarterback. They're just an amazing program. Just an amazing program. Georgia has Jake Fromm back again. He's a top-notch quarterback. And then
there was talk about him coming out last year.
He's only a freshman or sophomore. He couldn't come out. Until his junior year. Right. He couldn't come out. The other guy from Auburn could come out this year. Statham. He's pretty good. But he's got to throw the deep ball. The book on him is. But Clemson, I guess Clemson has an unbelievable defensive line. They've got 4, and the 5th guy on the defensive line who comes, is their backup lineman. All 4 positions is, I guess, they're all first-round NFL draft choices they pick. I think the one guy's going to be senior. I think 2 seniors, and all the rest are sophomores or juniors. So they're just loaded at that position. They said the pressure they're going to be able to put on the quarterbacks is going to be unbelievable. Clemson, and they have a freshman quarterback too. That's competing with I think Chris Bryant's their is it Bryant? Kelly Bryant is their quarterback.
Yep.
And he was average, but they have another kid, another incoming freshman named Justin Fields, I think his name is. That's on the top. I think it might have been deemed the top quarterback in the country. He's over there. So Clemson is going to be force to reckon with that defensive line in college football. I mean, that's you put pressure on these quarterbacks. I mean, you're gonna your linebackers got a free reign back there.
Yeah.
Do whatever they want, pick the ball off.
Yep.
Whatever they got. It'd be interesting to watch. UConn opens up with Central Florida. Was it Central? The team was undefeated last year. They opened up with them last year.
UCF.
Yeah, UCF.
Yeah.
They opened up with them. Yeah. See how that goes.
Yeah, well, that's going to be awesome. Yeah.
They got their quarterback back. Milton McKenzie's back.
Oh well, hey.
So I mean, they got a new coach down there and everything else. But I mean, they were undefeated. So see if UConn, gets their butt kicked. I don't know.
See if they get across. See if they can get across midfield.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, I don't know. I haven't heard much about them as far as that goes.
I just really have a hard time buying into UConn football as a program. Just I mean, they've got a basketball powerhouse on both sides of the ball. The men's team will come back or whatever, but the football thing, I just don't know how.
I hurt them too in being. I mean, I don't even know what conference they're in now. Are they on the USA or something? I don't even know what conference they're in now.
American
Conference, not the ACC.
American Conference,
American Conference, AAC or something.
Yeah.
All American Conference or something, whatever heck it is. But that's
and that's else. I mean that's on the men's basketball side. That was kind of the hard thing for Kevin Ollie to come in and obviously be compared to Calhoun.
Yep.
But Calhoun was recruiting to the Big East.
Big East was so much fun back then. Syracuse and Georgetown.
Yeah, and that's I mean
so much it was.
They could get guys from all over the country to come to Storrs, Connecticut.
They had a rivalry
because it was the Big East.
Yeah. It was so much fun. It was like pure basketball. I mean, and I guess they broke it up because of economics and stuff. And it's just a shame that the money controls all these things.
But I tell you, the remnants of the Big East or the new Big East or whatever else, still basketball. I mean, they're great teams.
That was 2 years ago. Diaco tried to create a rivalry with one of the Florida teams. He called it the whole bucket game or something like that. Or the golden. I don't know what it was. It was so dumb. There was no need for a rivalry. Yeah, it was something. Yeah, the fruit cup.
Whoa!
Oh, hey! I'll go there. Yeah, so that was something else.
Yeah.
Yeah. So last night the Yankees survived. And they had now Didi's hurt, Bruce Heel. He's out he's on a 10-day DL.
Okay.
Sanchez is rehabbing, slow comeback, but he might be back next week. And Judge is just not really making too much progress. He's got pain in his wrist still. I don't count on him. Even if he comes back, how is he going to be? I mean, he hasn't played in 3-4 weeks, and the strength in the wrist as a power hitter. I mean, I think that injury really hurts them the most of all the things that happened to them.
So you think you don't rush him back, obviously.
No, I think it depends where you're at.
If you can get him back with, say, 10 games left in the regular season and use that as a...
I think it depends where you're at as far as the standings go. If you got a shot at winning division, you do one thing, and if you don't, you do another thing. But they're okay with Stanton and right. Stanton had a hamstring or had a leg, so he wasn't playing right too much. And Neil Walker in right field a couple times, and he did fine out there.
Yeah, Walker's a utility guy. He can do anything.
Yeah. Now Didi going down, they had Torres, and he moved him over to short, and he looks wonderful there. I mean, he's a natural shortstop.
Yeah.
So that's not really hurting him too bad. In the short term, it doesn't hurt them.
Yeah.
If Didi's out for a whole month, then you'll see repercussions of that. But basically, in the short term, Torres is good at short. He made a nice play last night with the base loaded, ball hit to his right, backhand and threw home, and got it forced out to keep the game going. But and they have Walker played second there. Ronald Torres played second the other day. I love that little guy. That guy's so good little player, little Ronald Torres. He put him in there. He got 3 hits the first night. The night Didi got hurt, he came in and was 3 for 3. Came in and played short. But yeah, and I guess they called up Voigt the other day as a power hitter to take Didi's spot, and then they're probably going to call up Tyler Wade pretty soon, another infielder, send Voigt back down because they needed Voigt in these National League games when there's no DH. So they had Voigt come up to pitch hit. But yeah, they have Bird. I'll tell you. Oh my God, I don't know why I have this thing for Greg Bird the guy is terrible. You hate to say it, but he was 0 for 6 last night.
0 for 6.
0 for 6. And of course, got up all the time, big potential game-winning situations. Didn't do anything. Taking balls right down the middle, popping them up, no emotion. Yep. Goes back to the dugout. It drives you. I mean, slam a helmet once in a while. Just show me that you care. I guess you look at it both ways. This cool, calm demeanor, and I don't buy it. I don't know.
And then, but if you don't have emotion,
it doesn't matter to you. And he's batting 208. Every once in a while, he'll hit a bomb. He hit a grand slam 2 or 3 games ago. And Greg Bird this, Greg Bird that. He's like living on that 1 month he had about 2 years ago, or maybe last year in the play. I don't remember now. Where he was hot for a while. He was like, this and that. Potential. He's not a good hitter if you're batting 208. Hitting 208 doesn't mean you're a good hitter. You are what you are. Like Denny Green said, you are what your record is.
They are who they said they are.
I mean, you're batting 208. You're not a good hitter. I don't care if you look good or you got muscles or whatever. You're batting 208. Now, Neil Walker's batting 225, but in the last 20 games, he's batting 384. There you go. I mean, that's what matters. Are you hot now? It's when we need you, not 8 weeks ago.
Right.
And it continued. I wish they would have kept Drury and would have got not rid of Bird, but I don't know what they do with him. But I don't know what the solution is there. But he just doesn't. He swings. He doesn't attack the ball. He just kind of like lollygags his bat through the strike zone. It doesn't get any drive on the ball. Every once in a while he catches one though. Everybody like ooh ah, the potential. And it's like defensively he's pretty good. I mean, I'll give him that much. But I
just want to point out that Joe used lollygag.
Lollygag,
right, which is a great word.
It's a great
word from Bull Durham.
Yeah.
Lollygag.
Lollygag. They go, you got lollygag on the field, you lollygag off the field, you lollygag right and left.
What does that make them?
Lollygaggers.
There you go. So, you're talking baseball playoffs and everything else. You know what else is coming up? Golf playoffs.
Oh, boy.
FedEx Cup.
Wow. Woohoo.
So, hey, this is exciting stuff.
For you, it's exciting.
So 125 guys. So they have standings throughout the year.
When is that now? What day is it?
Starts this week.
Okay.
They're playing down in New Jersey.
Okay.
Paramus, near the mall.
Okay.
So 125 guys get into this one.
Okay. How do you qualify for that?
Over the course of the year. So the season starts, like late October of last year. So you accumulate points, and so if you're in the top 125, you get in. 100 guys get into the
What's
next
the top 125 based on your money earnings or winnings?
It's points, which is basically money. Money. So there's a. Last week was the last regular tour event, and this one poor guy, Martin Pillar, who he plays on the PGA Tour. His wife actually plays and hasn't won, but is playing really well on the LPGA Tour. So 2 of them are out there playing golf. He gets nipped by 2 guys. He's out. Finished 126th on the list.
Oh boy.
Season's over. Now, he made a lot of money, but so it's it actually is exciting. So they'll play. They're in New Jersey this week.
They rank them 1 to 125 type thing.
Yeah. So 125. That's who. That's who gets in.
What's Tiger ranked on that board?
That's a good question. I gotta look.
You should know that.
He might not have got in. He hasn't played much, and he might not. I don't know that he got in.
He'll get in if he's 190. He'll get in just for the draw of it.
But they got so New Jersey this week, and then they go TPC Boston the week after that.
Okay.
And then down to Aronimink, which is a great golf course right out near Villanova, out Main Line.
So 125 guys. In theory, how many of those guys? Like 1 through 20, 1 through 30. How many actually make some decent money? What number do you have to land to make money in that finish? I should say.
If you're 130, you made a lot of money.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And this is.
But in the actual tournament, though, the top guy gets X amount. If you finish 80th in that tournament, you make decent money.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a $9 million purse.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they're splitting up $9 million, so the winner gets $1.5 million or whatever else it is. Yeah, they're covering their expenses. Okay. But I remember years ago, if you made $100,000, you would get into the top 100. It's always been 125. So if you make years ago, if you made $100,000, you'd be in the top 125, which means you retain your card for the next year.
Okay, if you make $100,000, that sounds good, but a lot of it's expenses, all right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
With your travel, your hotels, all that, unless you have a sponsor.
And they all have some sponsorship. But yeah, they're, and I think maybe some people don't realize that, but yeah, if you're Bubba Watson, you're paying your own way for everything.
Okay.
You're flying, you're paying for your hotel, you're paying for your caddy, you're paying, your taxes and everything else. So, when he won this year at at Hartford, he made $1.2 million.
Okay.
Okay, so well, it cost him whatever to get there.
I mean, half a million for all that stuff.
Hotel or whatever else.
Yeah.
He donated $200,000 to the JCs or to the foundation.
Okay.
He's got to pay his caddy.
Right.
So $120,000 goes to the caddy.
Right.
Because it's 10% if you win.
Right.
Taxes eat up the rest or whatever else. Yeah. I mean, I don't feel bad for him, but it's not. It's not as much as
as glamorous.
As it is.
Yeah.
But most of those guys, and guys that you've never, like this Martin Pillar who got nipped out, he's probably making $200,000 in sponsor money.
Okay.
Just for wearing
for one event or just for the whole year?
For the year. So they'll sign him for the year. Club company.
That covers all his stuff.
So I mean, it's like seed money.
Okay.
He might have on a shirt maybe Subway restaurants, or something, just as an example. Would want to sponsor them, and they'll say, okay, we'll give you $50,000 to have this logo on the shirt, and then and you can get a lot of logos on shirts. You can put on one on both sleeves, you put on the collar, you put
like those race car guys,
put on the back,
yeah.
And so by the end of you add those things up, and a guy that you've never heard of is probably making $250,000, which. Again, it fronts them the money to travel and things like that. Because nowadays these guys are easily spending $150,000, $200,000 a year traveling.
Wow.
Yeah, because they're playing all over the world now. Yeah. It's not just it's not the old tour when Ben Hogan was there and they would.
Now, a guy like Bubba Watson, who's actually not I want to say not built. Well, that's not a proper term, but he's golf built. How much do you work on? What does a guy like him do as far as between tournaments? Do you work out? Do you lift? Do you do elliptical? I mean, what do they do?
Bubba Watson, I don't know for certain, but there are, just about every young tour guy out there is working out like crazy.
Golf workout.
Golf specific, yes.
Right.
So
a lot different than normal.
They're not just bench pressing and stuff like that. A lot of real dynamic movements and things like that.
Yeah, doing stuff. Yeah, rotation, things like that.
Throwing medicine balls.
Yeah.
Box jumps.
Right.
All that kind of stuff.
Right.
In fact, Brooks Koepka, who won 2 majors this year. Very unpopular because Tiger had a chance to win the PGA Championship. And Brooks won. This kid he's huge. He could play linebacker. He's so big. So in these majors, because of TV and whatever else, they tee off very late. The leaders always go off last. You tee off at 2:30, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Right. So he was bored. He had nothing to do. He went to the gym and lifted in the morning.
Wow. And so he was able to play well, huh?
Oh, yeah. Wow. But this guy, I saw a picture of him doing, I used to call him pitcher squats. He calls them like Bulgarian squats. But he's sitting there, he's got a foot on a bench back there. So he's doing a one-legged squat with 180 pounds on a barbell going up and down. Which I know you do that all the time. But, this guy's a golfer.
Like he lift on a chair. I was turning the channel. I saw the long drive contest. They had a couple guys.
Oh, that's a whole different thing.
And those guys were jacked. Oh my God! They're like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Both those guys. I forget this guy's name. They were like 371 yards, maybe. Does that sound right?
Oh sure.
Yeah. Oh my God! They hit the ball like a rocket going off.
Yeah, those guys are.
Yeah. They probably can't.
That's not even golf.
Probably can't make a punt, can they?
A couple of those guys. Jamie Sadlowski is a guy he's won. He's like the Babe Ruth of long drive. He's actually a decent player. Is playing on some web.com events.
You would think if he could drive the ball long distance, it would be a tremendous advantage, right?
Oh, a huge advantage, but you got to be able to find it.
It's down here in Highway 84. It's down there.
I think that's out of bounds.
I saw a ball went by the Volkswagen over there. That was funny. God.
Yeah.
So Pat's doing pretty well. That Brady actually played a whole half a game the last preseason game I saw. Yeah. He looked good, as usual. And people are talking about a lot of people hate the Pats. Mm-hmm. Why? I mean, they're like jealous of success. They're jealous they do the right thing, and they don't like the way Belichick handles press conferences.
Yeah.
Well, half time I blame him, half time I don't blame him. I mean, they ask some stupid questions for him, and he's just like, you know what? We're going on to Arizona, whatever. It doesn't even address it,
Yeah.
And which is.
I think part of that is, he decides that's who he's going to be.
Yep.
And he
stays to it.
He sticks with it. You're right.
That's it. Now, Victor Cruz hung up his spikes, and he's going to join ESPN, I guess they say, as an analyst.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. They had, then they had the Monday night team with Booger McFarland and Jason Witten and Joe Tessitore did a game. And, I think they're banking on Jason Witten to be another Tony Romo in the booth there, and that's a tough thing. Again, similar to what we said about A-Rod, knowing what to say, when to say it, and not to be too critical, not to be too nice, and it's always a tough call there. Now the Mets let's go back to Dom Smith for just 1 second.
Okay.
I mean, what do you do with a guy like that? Either play him or you don't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like Lisa McNeil now, he's 26, and it looks like he can hit. At least they find that out.
Yeah.
I mean, whether he's hitting as well in a month now, we'll see.
Sure.
But the point being is that you have to accomplish something. If you're going to win less than half your games, you got to find out who can play.
Yeah.
Why not? At least they have Rosario leading off, which is good. At least he's learned how to be a leadoff hitter.
Yeah, McNeil's got 89 at bats, so not a whole lot.
Yeah.
But he's batting 326.
What do you think about David Wright and what he's doing?
I mean, I love the guy.
That's tough. Yeah, you do. You gotta love the guy. But he got first 2 hits the other day. I guess he was over for 20 or something, but he got a couple hits. I guess he's fielding okay. But man, and then
he's always a good fielder. He's always sketchy with the arm.
Yeah.
And then
Jay Bruce is down there. I guess he had a couple hits the other day. He's rehabbing back.
Yeah.
So I don't know. The Jose Batista still been 207. Yeah.
208.
208. Yeah. He got a hit last week. But
the best batting average for the Mets.
I would guess is it
Jeremy Blevins. He had two at bats and he got a hit.
Oh, he did.
500.
Oh, okay.
No, the with significant at bats, and this is just it's sad.
Okay.
Wilmer Flores,
okay.
278.
278. Was Nimmo 260, probably 250, something like that?
265.
265, yeah. Well, McNeil's 3-something though, right? Even though
but like I say, he's got 89
Yeah.
at bats, so it's small. 326.
Frazier's 210, 211, somewhere in there.
Oh, Frazier's horrible. Yeah.
Just never a good hitter.
He's batting 230.
Such a good guy though, and a good fielder, but it's just
but like I say, Wright, always a good glove.
Good guy.
Always sketchy with the arm.
Always, yeah.
I mean, routine ground balls.
He got big in the middle of his career too.
Yeah.
He lifted too much almost.
Yeah, routine ground balls.
Yeah.
You sit there on the edge of your seat because the first baseman had to be the greatest athlete on the field to take him, and then he was a good hitter. And then the 2006 home run derby.
Yeah.
He hit 21 home runs or something in the first round.
Yeah.
Flamed out the rest of the year, but it all came to a close when Matt Cain hit him.
Yeah.
He got hit in the head by Matt Cain, and he never looked the same on the plate. And the book on him within hours of coming back was you just throw on the inside half of the plate, and all he do is just get out of the way. You can't blame the guy. I mean, I watched that game when he got hit. I was watching it live.
Yeah.
He could have died.
Yeah.
It hit him right there.
Did you see Urena hit Acuna? He had homered like 4 or 5 games in a row leading off.
Urena hit Acuna.
Yeah, he hit him right in the back, and that was almost a brawl. He got suspended for 6 games, but that was Keith Hernandez said that part of the game. I don't know. It's kind of old school. You hit a guy, hit him in the butt.
Yeah. Hernandez and Darling are always talking about when you should throw at guys, and they never do. They never. The Mets are. I kind of agree with them. I mean, at some point, you got to protect yourself.
Yeah.
Or protect your pitcher or whatever it happens to be.
And pitching inside is one thing, but you can't, hit a guy, man.
You can throw at a guy. Why not?
You know what scares you
when
guys get hit in the hands and the wrists. I mean, that's just it's amazing. Hit in the hand, and it was funny. David Cohn was on a show that he said that he got hit. Athlete Hammaker hit him when he was bunting, and his right pinky is literally like this. And he said the next year. It helped him with his moving out his ball.
No kidding.
Yeah, and he still has it to this day. It's like way out there, and he said he's never got it fixed. He says, "Why bother?"
Well, if he learned how to bunt, that wouldn't happen, and maybe he wouldn't have thrown the no hitter.
He actually he slammed his helmet down. And he almost went at it. Yeah, it was pretty wild.
Yeah,
but old school.
Old school.
So we'll look forward to Giants Jets this week. See what that looks like.
Yeah,
and then NFL. 2 weeks. 2 weeks. We'll talk about that a little bit, and then college football kicks off Labor Day weekend.
Yeah, we'll have all the big games.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. We'll
University of something Community College will play Penn State and Appalachian State. Actually, I think they open with Penn State. They're always the fodder.
Yep.
Last year, Central Connecticut's first game of the year, Syracuse.
Oh, wow. All right, George, that'll do it.
Hey, Joe.
Good job.
Thank you.
Always a pleasure.
All right.
All right.